Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for January 26, 2020, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just letting everybody know we've listed on the weareonelightforall.net website to have the day and time of the TFCCs. So anybody new that goes to the website will know what time the TFCC is going on. We got it in two places now on the website, so there won't be any reason for anybody not be able to know what time the TFCC call is and what day of the week it is. And if we have any additional or special calls, then I'll just announce that throughout the week so that people can get a heads up because we have so many new people coming in. So, when you can imagine the reality of beingness, which means that you're in a state of transition into pure, deep, eternal love and bliss. This isn't something that is made up. It is transition. Understand that the more enlightened that each of us become, the higher the frequency that we exist in or of. So understand that always the transition to higher frequencies is from within us. And it is for us to determine when we feel that basically it's time to ascend from the perspective through enlightenment. And enlightenment is being in love more than a couple of seconds at a time. And this is all connected with our global guided meditations. And one aspect is that we learn, isn't it interesting? We learn about who and what we are through our decision and our commitment, each and every one of us, to go within and to literally commune with the kingdom of God, which is within us. Then we become more aware and understanding of who and what we are from the standpoint of love, joy, bliss, and peace. So when you get a collective consciousness that becomes vibrantly awakened to the understanding that deep eternal love and deep gratitude and peace and joy and happiness is a major transition into enlightenment. The more you can sustain those frequencies, and that's what they are. Deep eternal love is frequency. The gods that we are, and we were made from source creation out of pure, deep, eternal love, is also frequency. So we decide, in other words, you really can't take, you couldn't go into a higher frequency if you were not aware or you did not make that decision. You cannot be forced into a higher frequency. It must come from within you. And the only way that happens is that you acknowledge and you begin that journey based upon your own decision and your own direction and your own way to discover the fact that you are the God and that you are the kingdom of God. And this elevates our frequencies to a much deeper understanding of why we are. Why are we? What are we? Who are we? And a lot of people throughout the ages on this planet, people have seeked that out. Unfortunately, the majority have seeked it out externally, outside of themselves, and they never really found it. Some came to the end of their body cycle that they found out that they should have been within themselves all along. And while they were being distracted on external seekings that never fulfilled them, which is basically the ego mind drawing them into externalism and embracing the material external authorities. So understand that the reason that the collective consciousness of this planet and the human and a lot of the frequencies that aren't being publicized, that aren't being revealed, is due to the fact that we have entered into a higher frequency than what we've been used to in this 3D, this third three-dimension frequency. And so and that frequency is much higher, obviously, than what you would see on the 3D human frequency. And now you see the frequency of the planet is much higher. And that just means that it identifies the fact that you have entered a higher frequency and a higher form of existence. You see, a lot of the things that we have been taught and told and that others have imparted to us because of that they felt was the truth have been false. So the only way that any of us are going to determine for ourselves who and what we are and where we're at and why is by journeying within us. Because anything external is going to be a distraction. And I think that a lot of you on this call know that it is a distraction. And it's not out of anger, it's not out of frustration or fear, but it is an understanding, it is a knowing. And the knowing is that these are distractions, and I'm aware of that. And I am mastering those distractions so that they don't interfere with my journey. See, when you let go of everything, and each of us come to that stage, whether we create it unknowingly or knowingly, the majority of the time it's unknowingly that we create these adventures that we have come into our existence, into our lives in these bodies. And we go through these things. And it is, in some cases, eye-openers for a lot of us. But then we realize that it is a awakening for us that, now I understand this and I understand that, and I can, I feel much more in mastership of this rather than out of control. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been, traveling through your life and you feel that things are so out of control and you feel so just like miscombobulated and, just in different directions, and it's overwhelming at times, where you just want to go somewhere where there is no interference and just be, where you want to go into the woods or somewhere where you feel is very serene and quiet and not abrasive, where you can just kind of sit and regenerate. It's because of the fact that we, a lot of the times we've separated ourselves from organic. Since we're in these organic bodies, we separate ourselves from all that there is, this planet, Gaia, Earth, and connect. Because it's funny, we are part of all of it, but a lot of the times we don't connect with any of it, right? And we begin to softly and gently open up to ourselves and understand is that I really am the master, see? And yeah, we have the tug of war with the ego mind, and we know the construct of the subconscious mind, and we know what their purposes are. So this is part of the mastering that each and every one of us decide to do. It's not something that's forced. It's something that we just decide to do. And as we journey deeper and deeper within us, we begin to see and learn things more and more, and the externalism begins to fade. It doesn't have that shine anymore, if you know what I mean. It's not, I mean, yeah, you know, we're in a physical body, and we have physical surroundings that we choose to interact with. But it's not, how do you put it? It's not controlling of us. It doesn't, you know, drag us around by the nose and control us, so to speak. And we let go. That's part of the letting go. It's part of letting go of the physical world. And it doesn't mean to end oneself at all. It's the opposite. When you let go of the physical world and you embrace your spirituality, the spirituality of the God within you, the kingdom of God, the heart of God, the mind of God, you begin to transition, so to speak. And you can feel your transition most of the time, and you can experience it. And as you transition, you move yourself out of the muck and the mire, the goop, because you're uninterested in it. You're uninterested in plunging yourself into that anymore. You're interested on the higher plane of existence. You see, in a lot of the civilizations that Source has created throughout the galaxy and throughout the universes, the majority of them always have this a similar issue, excuse me, of the ego mind, and how it draws them and takes them and supervises them and controls them. And see, our whole journey is to perfect ourselves to the point where we become master creators. First for ourselves and what we desire, and then for all things. This is the ultimate existence as Source intended us to come to the realization of the fact that we are master creators, and since we were made from Source, and Source made us out of deep eternal love, we master these understandings through being in physical form, entering physical form. So through entering physical form, we experience and we perfect ourselves. And as we experience in physical form, we're constantly striving to higher and higher levels of understanding. You see? Higher and higher levels of understanding. And when we get to these levels, we embrace them. And we're constantly moving and advancing in an upward swing. We don't care to hang on the lower rungs of dark matter frequency. It's just not our choice, all right? Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing, but it's not our choice. Our choice is to move continually into higher and higher frequencies and to inhabit different physical forms, if you will, that allow us to perfect ourselves. And we experience. But see, you get to the point where you know what you're entering and what it's about. You're not blank like we have been in the third frequency, the third dimension. We're not blanked and our memory's gone and we just have no clue of, how many times have we incarnated, what have we experienced. It's just silly. So we break free of the matrix and this control mechanism in this quadrant galaxy, and then we move on and we perfect. So right now, we're moved into 5D frequency, and we experience it. And as we do this, and as we move deeper and deeper into the 5D, our physical forms will transform. They will change. It's part of the experience, inhabiting different forms so that we can experience in a physical existence through the gods that we are. It's part of what everything is made up of in all existence, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It is experiencing. We are created to experience and perfect ourselves so that as a collective consciousness, we are finite and pure in our direction of creation, which means that we create in perfection, just like Source created us in perfection. So doesn't it make sense that we carry Source creation's perfection, and I guess you could call it personality outside of the physical form, and character that we draw from our Creator. And our Creator is Source creation. So as we perfect and as we advance, we go into higher frequencies. We inhabit different forms. And it isn't a scary thing or deceptive or anything like that. It is a joy. And we embrace it. And each and every one of us decide, literally decide, when we desire to do that. There's no race. There's no one saying to you, you got to do this. You better do it. You're going to get punished, or you're going to get behind the 8 ball, or you're going to be left behind. It is just all crap. All of it. It is up to each and every one of us. Doesn't it make sense that since you are God within that body, kingdom of God, heart of God, mind of God, that you literally determine when, where, how, and why. Okay? And once you comfortably get that understood with yourself, that there is no limit. There never has been a limit for any of us. It has been depicted, and it's a control mechanism. If you desire to enslave a bunch of gods on a planet that are naive in physical forms, then that's how you do it. That's one of the precepts that you use to do it. And we are literally eliminating that because we continue to increase our vibrational frequency through love, through tenderness, through gentleness, through kindness. And it is a constant practice. And as I said, the more we practice, the more we become into autopilot. It's automatic. We catch ourselves automatically. We don't let it slip by anymore. So, do you think it stops at 5D? No. It's just the beginning. Then we go to 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D, 11D, 12D, 50D, 60D, 100D, 2000D. It never ends. It's all about perfecting. It's all about advancing and experiencing. It's why we were created. And as we do this, along the way, we create universes or solar systems. Suns, moons, stars. This is what we create. Once we get it clear and understand of who and what we are, the creation part is basically part of us. It's like everything right now, right in this now, that each of us are thinking, we are creating through the heart mind, over this ego mind. So we're creating. And it is unlimited on how we create. When you're angry and frustrated and fearful and stressed and worried as a collective consciousness, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Planet's going to be in disarray, confusion, goopiness, misguidedness, fracturing and fraying on all the edges everywhere. So understand something. The dark matter frequencies can get us to believe whatever it may be they want us to believe. I guarantee you something. We will create it. You see? And we no longer entertain that because we know. We're in a knowing. We are consciously aware of that trick. So therefore, we don't give it any attention. There's no reason to. Why would we want to create chaos, discontent, worry, stress, fear, pain, anxiety? There's no reason for us to create that. And we've been tricked long enough, and therefore we shall not be tricked again. Because we become knowing and conscious. Why do you think we're in 5D now? That's why. because the collective consciousness has become aware enough where it's moving up and out, no longer into the doom and gloom of the dark matter frequencies and the low survival matter frequencies. So, this is a wonderful ride. It's a journey of continually experiencing and perfecting. And perfecting is experiencing. Experiencing is perfecting. And it's fun and it's empowering for us to know that the true power that we are of source creation. So it is a process of enlightenment. And the more enlightened we become, the more fluid we journey. The more we're in love, the more we're in joy. The knowing that you are free and always will be more and more. That there is no constraints upon you other than those that you put upon yourself. That you are pure perfection and divinity. That's your essence. And when you ask for what you want in the state of perfection, of divinity, it is automatic. It isn't even a second thought. And how do you create the things that you desire? By asking for them, without the ego mind's influence. It's that simple. And it really is that simple. To understand how absolutely divine, absolutely empowered, how we are absolute powerful creators, manifestors, whatever words you want to use in the English language on this planet. There's a lot of words that have not even, there's a lot of frequencies that we don't have the words to describe anyway. And it's getting more and more like that. So, I'm going to give you just a little brief understanding here between the ego and the soul, or between the ego and the God, between the heart mind and the ego mind. Ego mind focused on what you are not getting. Okay? Ego mind focused on what you are not getting. God mind, heart mind, focused on what you are receiving from wherever, from your partner, from your life, your existence. Ego-based, feeling desperate, lacking love, or needy for love. Heart-mind-based, feel completely loved no matter what your partner says or does. Seeking approval from your mate is ego-based. Seeking approval from your mate. God-based, you approve of yourself, and that is enough. Ego-based, deep sense of insecurity. God-based, feel whole and secure because you love yourself. Ego-based, jealous of your mate spending time with others. God-based, encourage your mate to spend time with others. Ego-based, critical of yourself and your mate. Soul-based, God-based, you're able to see the beauty and divine in yourself and your partner. Ego, you are blaming your partner for something that happened in the past or could happen in the future. Heart, mind, God-based, you are focused on the beauty of relating to your partner in the now. Ego-based, ego-mind, long list of expectations that must be met for you to feel okay. Long list of expectations that must be met for you to feel okay. God-based, heart, mind. Clearly setting your desired outcomes in the relationship and letting go of any attachment, any attachment to them occurring. Once we understand and are conscious and are knowing that, to remember that freedom is the highest value. And this is ironic, if the love that you are is not giving you freedom, then it is not love. Right? If love is not giving you freedom, then it is not love. So in this meditation, ask yourself, are you the heart mind or are you the ego mind? Heart mind, ego mind. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are. And the first thing we want to do is relax our body. Relaxing the body is absolutely imperative. It carries us around. Why would we want a distraught body? Stressed out, worried, tired, depleted. So we relax the body every chance we get. And as we all know, it's not from external authority. It's not from pills and chemicals. It's just, we are the master. We relax the body, the vessel that holds the God within. And we surrender everything that taxes us. Everything. I've had people tell me through the years, I just have so much stuff, it's so overwhelming, and it's so burdensome, and it's so heavy. And I've talked to other people is that I really don't have a care in the world. I don't own anything. I don't have anything, and I am pure, blissfully happy. You see? So you surrender. And what you're doing is you're surrendering into the God that you are with total confidence, without ego. You just lean back. It's like, I'll catch you. Have you ever played the game where you're going to trust somebody, and it's an exercise in trust, and they're going to catch you. You're going to totally relax the body, and you're going to fall backward. Right? Now, you can't see behind you, and they're telling you that they're going to catch you, so don't worry. How many of you have that fear that runs through you in that brief moment of trust? That, are they going to catch me? Are they really going to hold me? Or am I going to harm myself by falling flat on my back on the floor? This is about letting go and surrendering all of the external authorities that have literally plagued each and every one of us since the beginning of the conception of our physical forms. So in order to let go, we have to have the confidence of the gods that we truly are and to surrender. And it doesn't mean throwing things out and just going out in the woods and living in a tent. It means that you are surrendering the attachment and the ego mind's control factor of gimme, more, gimme, more, never enough, never enough. Okay? That's part of the ego stickiness and glueness. So you surrender and you relax the body. And the body just goes into ease. And you can feel it. You just kind of, and you let go. And as soon as you start feeling it, you let go more and more, and you feel more and more at peace and at joy and at bliss. And you know what? You're doing nothing to achieve this, to experience it, because it's within you. And it always has been. So you dip into the well of the God that you are to enjoy the bliss, the peace, and the joy that you are. And you do this by surrendering. So the body relaxes. And when we want to move into the now. Why do we want to move into the now? Why can't we just go around in the past and reminisce and shoot into the future? Play around in the future and everything? Because everything happens in the now. And the now is truly all we do have. The past, the present, and the future operate in the now. the baggage room, the subconscious, where all of our memories are. We house all the experiences from the past. We've already experienced those things. Why do we need to experience them again? We've experienced them countless times. And we move into the now. And in this very now, we are creating our futures. We are the architects of our futures. We create it. Everything's designed, finitely engineered by the universe. Everything is in place. Nothing is out of place, as we have been told it is from external authority. So, in the now, we are creating our futures in the very moment that we're in at this very moment now. We don't go into the past and drag it into our futures to create our futures. That's silly. Why bring something into your future that you've already experienced years ago, when you can create your future in the now, the way you determine and decide it to be? No one else, the way you decide it to be, through the heart-mind. And as we do this, we want to breathe. You want to breath in through the nose, nice and easy, nice and gentle. You just breathe it in through the nose, and you hold it. We sustain it for about 3 seconds. I am love, I am light, I am. I am love, I am light, I am. I am love, I am light, I am. We want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And as we do this, it keeps us focused on the now. The breath, breathing in and breathing out, keeps us focused on the now. The breath is only the now. We know this. It's not debatable. Oh, no, it's the past. No, it's the future. No, the breath is only in the now. So when we do listen to our breathing, because most of us shallow breathe on this planet, we take our breath so for granted that we don't even know we're breathing sometimes. We aren't paying attention to it because we're so distracted from external authorities. So we focus on our breath. It's a simple thing to do. It's a very healthy, empowering thing to do, is to focus on our breath. And it keeps us in the now because it reminds us that the breath, and you say to yourself, my breath is in the now. So I am in the now because I'm focusing on my breath. So as we breath in divine positive energy. The divine positive energy is from source creation, that which created us out of deep eternal love. And its collective consciousness is planet Earth, Gaia, and a collective consciousness of the universes. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it comes in through the God that we are within, and through the heart-mind. Never comes in through the ego-mind. Comes in through the heart-mind. And then we feel it, and we communicate with it. It's through source creation, constant flow. And basically, we ask ourselves this question. It comes from source. It's posed to us. Are we the ego mind or the heart mind? Right? And then you determine what that answer is going to be. Am I the ego mind or am I the heart mind? It's not a trick question, by the way. And whatever it is that you focus on, then that's where you are emanating and working from. Then you know if you need to shift your frequency to a higher form in order to embrace the heart-mind and to operate from the heart-mind. So the heart-mind eventually dismisses the ego-mind. Now, as we breath out, we're breathing out always that kind of a conflict inside of us. It's that, you've got one side saying this and the other side saying that. And it's emotion and feeling, is saying, well, you don't have to be concentrating on that stuff. It's all poppycock. You don't need to go in yourself and explore and journey within yourself because it's just, It's not worth it. You're doing fine the way I'm helping you, the ego mind, talking to you. I'm helping you. I'm guiding you. Hasn't been that bad, has it? No? Okay. So it kind of seduces, and then eventually a lot of us will succumb back into the ego mind. No. And the whole time, what is the heart mind doing? That's the feeling of ease. That's the feeling of joy. It's right there. It's right there. But you're being tugged on constantly by the ego mind. And this is, we breath out, and we understand that, and we have a knowing. It's not anger, it's not frustration, it's a knowing. So we operate, we are in the heart mind, and that's where we literally, our command center is, so to speak. And so in the heart mind, we have all of the others around us, and they are from source creation. Everything's from source creation, of and from. And the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of them. This is civilization, and they vibrate at a higher frequency than we do. Does it make them better? No. Does it make them more powerful? No. And there's trillions of them. And they're all over. They surround us in the thousands. And they've been with us since the beginning. Now, in a high frequency, you can't be a low frequency in a high frequency. It's just not, it can't. So, they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest, deepest gratitudes. We see them sometimes in humanoid form, sometimes in feeling, sometimes in sense, sometimes in just knowing. It's never foreboding. It's never low and heavy. It's always enlightening and uplifting and wonderful, as that of which we are. There you have the Ascended Masters: Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundancia, Pel, Thought, and many, many, many more. They have ascended out of body and hold God form. So the gods within their physical bodies have left the body. Doesn't that sound familiar? Don't you know that that's what we do? See? Do you think the Ascended Masters, and that word is kind of tenacious, the master part, but Ascended Masters, do you think that they have ascended into other body forms through their existences? Absolutely. Taken on other lives, other personalities within those physical forms? Absolutely. Do we do anything different? No. We're all creations of Source, so we're all perfecting and experiencing. And they vibrate at a high frequency, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be. And they're the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest gratitudes. So we all form, arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, coming together, a circle of light, a halo. The circle of light is made up of source creation, deep, eternal love, light, energy. It's a frequency, high movement. And it is brilliant, blazing light. And it has a prismatic effect at its fringes, and it glows outward. And it's a spectrum of brilliance of high frequencies of deep, eternal love. And as we emit this from the God within us, of which is part of source creation, through the collective consciousness. So as we do this, it is a light that we do not, gaze upon from our physical eyes. It is a light that we feel through every part of our existence. And it literally grays out the darkness of sacred space. So as we do this, we begin to levitate above the planet. The planet is housed in a perfect, impenetrable, high-frequency sphere. The same with all of us. The same with all life. And that sphere is maintained as long as we maintain the knowingness of who and what we are, of the highest and deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes. If we want to open the door and let every low frequency come in, that is up to us. You know, we have the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael to remind us that we have the healing power to heal all things. The violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael to remind us that we have the power and the resolve to sustain our high frequencies, to literally protect us from the low dark matter frequencies. The white fire, the armor that we surround ourselves with, is the power of the gods that we are. And it's such a high frequency that no dark matter frequency can even sustain itself within seconds of being dismissed and vaporized. The purple transmuting flame, which reminds us that we have the power within us to dismiss low frequencies that are bothersome, to dismiss them, to transmute them into neutral light substance, and to just send them back to the great central sun for repurposing. We have the violet ray, which reminds us to cleanse the area of which we just transmuted things into neutral light substance. The golden white pink light of source creation, that which created prime source, creator God, mother, father God, all of us. And then people say, what creates source? Who created source? Consciousness created source. What do you think source is? Is consciousness. What created consciousness? It is in infinity. What is infinity? Infinity is infinity is infinity is infinity. And you can sit and ask that question until the body no longer sustains you and still not be done. So as we continue to elevate ourselves and levitate, we step outside the body. We hover above the body, above the head, freely, effortlessly. And as we do this, we are compelled to call out and to draw the other creations of source creation, which is part of us, because we're all one. And all of the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes can join us in this meditation and this now in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness and kindness, generosity and humbleness, peace, joy, bliss, tranquility and benevolence, and they come in the Gugaplexes, massive numbers, filling one Gugaplex, filling this universe. Fathom that. They come in the thousands of Gugaplexes, the millions of Gugaplexes, the billions of Gugaplexes, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we're all one. And we're all love. That never changes. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, many, many, many civilizations. And only those who maintain the highest of high frequencies and the deep eternal love of and from the highest of deepest eternal loves and the highest of deepest gratitudes can join us in this meditation and this now in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment. non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, peace, joy, bliss, tranquility, benevolence. And they come, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. We're all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the galactics, the off-worlders, just to name a few: Arcturians, Andromedans, Sirians, Pleiadians, and many, many, many more. Only those who maintain the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity and humbleness, peace, bliss, joy, benevolence, and tranquility. And they come. They've been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we're all one, and we're all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest gratitudes, and join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, kindness, gentleness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. They come, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. They are of their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are all one. We are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the light energy beings have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest gratitudes, can join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, peace, bliss, joy, kindness, gentleness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the trillions, and just to name a few of them: fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more, in shapes, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never laid eyes upon before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one. We are all love, and our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, lifting the very fabric of the creation, increasing and intensifying as it bathes, floods, and saturates all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, into the highest frequencies of the highest of deepest eternal loves, the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's set center circle. We created this sphere. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It is pure, divine, deep, eternal love. It is of the collective consciousness. It is of source creation. You can feel it flood your physical body, inside and out, head to toe. Your God within. And you always are having a choice. Are you the heart mind, or are you the ego mind? Which is it to be in this ascension process? Which is it to be? Are you the ego mind, or are you the heart mind? It is up to each and every one of us. And once we've made that understanding to ourselves, then that for forever and always, while in physical form, we will operate and be in the heart mind. And eventually, the ego mind will cease to be. We look down upon this planet, Earth Gaia, we see all life. We see all of our brothers and sisters. We see all of Source, as is everything is Source. And everything is flooded, always, with the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we flow, and the collective consciousness of that which we are continues to elevate, continues to ascend, continues to move us into higher and higher frequencies. It is all by choice. It is all by our choice, each and every one of us. Nothing to do with the mirage of external authority and the ego mind. It is all about the gods that we are. The heart of God, the mind of God, the eyes of God. And so we continue through the heart mind to experience and perfect ourselves so that we become the masters of master creations in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Join you in meditation. Return to close us out. within ourselves by literally telling ourselves that we are in the heart mind and we operate from the heart mind. And we're aware of the ego mind, which is part of us, that we oversee the ego mind. And then we become the masters of that so that we're able to choose the thoughts that come in, or actually we're able to create the thoughts that design our futures. So as you become more and more understanding and knowing of who and what you are, you begin to realize that you, as I've said before, all of us are the conductors. We are the designers. We are the orchestra. We are the instruments. We are all of it. And it is solely up to us. Because as we are created by Source, and we are of Source, our whole journey is continually experiencing and perfecting. And doesn't it make sense that we design that path? We design that path. To take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We will be back here January 27th, 2020, 3 p.m.